this final video on marketing, we want to wrap everything up and pull it together to create an effective marketing plan. But before we do, let me just say this. There are 5 ways to increase your revenue in your business. And these are the things you want to be thinking about as you put together your marketing plan and strategy. 5 ways to grow your business. Number 1 is to keep the customers you have. I want you to be thinking, I need to be marketing to the customers I have. That's very important because all of your competitors are marketing to your customers. And so you don't want to lose those valuable clients and customers. You want to keep them engaged. You want to remind them of the value you bring. And you want to make your number 1 marketing priority to market to your existing or past customers. Why? Because they already trust you. They should be the easiest people to make additional sales to. So market to them and build those relationships. Make sure you're satisfying your customers. Make sure you're getting their input. Make sure you're adding value all along the way. And build those relationships so they last a long time. Because if you're losing customers, you're not going to be able to grow and scale your business very effectively. So number 1, keep the customers you have. Look for ways to increase the value you bring to them and communicate with them often and effectively. Now, as you work with your customers, it's important to ask them for feedback. And this scares business owners many times. We're afraid to really ask for their feedback. But I want to give you 3 questions you should be asking your current and past customers. Number 1, ask them, how are we doing? How are we doing? Is our service or our product continuing to serve you well and meet your needs? So just ask them that question. How are we doing? And the second question is, what other needs do you have that we should find ways to serve you with? And ask them, because they may have ideas of things that they're needing or they're wanting, but nobody's really providing it. And they already trust you, so they're going to trust you if you come up with some new ideas or new services or values to bring to them. And so ask them, what are some other needs that you have that we should be considering ways to serve you with? And then the third question, how can we improve our value to you? Or how can we increase our value to you? And so have the courage to ask your customers those kinds of questions. They will appreciate it. They will respect you. They will really engage with you because they know you're serious about serving them and helping them in their needs. So the number 1 way you increase your revenue is to maintain the customers you have. The second way you increase your revenue is by acquiring new customers. And that's what much of this whole marketing training has been about. How do you acquire new customers? And so that's a big part of this plan, but that's the second way you increase your revenue. A third way you increase your revenue is to sell to your customers more frequently. So think about it. Is there a way I can sell to them more frequently? Maybe they buy your product or your service once a month or 3 times a year. Is there a way you could serve them twice a month, or maybe sell to them multiple times during the year beyond what they're already buying? So can you increase the frequency of their buy? And that's the third way to grow your business. The fourth way to grow your business is to increase the dollar amount that they spend. Is there a way that you can sell larger ticket items or services to them and add more value by doing that? And so number 1 way to increase your revenue is keep the customers you have. The number 2 way is to acquire new customers. The number 3 way is to sell to them more frequently. The number 4 way is to sell larger services or products or deals to them. And then the 5th way you grow your revenue, and this one's a little controversial, is say no to bad customers. That's right. As you build your business, you'll discover there are customers that are really hard to serve. They're hard to please. They're hard to maintain. They demand a lot, and we don't make a lot of profit from serving them. those are bad customers, to be honest with you. It doesn't mean they're bad people, it just means they're bad customers for your business. And so find ways to either upcharge them or weed them out so that you can spend your energy and your time serving your best customers. So keep those 5 things in mind as you start putting together your plan. Now, what are the components of a good marketing plan? If you go on the internet, you'll find lots of templates and ideas of marketing plans, and some of them can get very complex. But your plan does not have to be complex. In fact, I recommend you keep it very simple. And I recommend you have 5 parts to your plan. Number 1, identify who is your ideal customer. Who is that ideal client that you're trying to serve? And what is the value you bring to them? So put that in your plan. The people we're trying to reach are these people. Put the bullet points there, the descriptors, whatever describes that ideal client for you, and also add in there the value proposition. That's part of the message you've been working on. What is the value you bring to them? And if it's maybe you serve 2 or 3 different types of customers or clients, and you've got 2 or 3 different value propositions, that's fine. But put it in your plan so you're clear, and any of your team members who look at your plan, they are clear too on who you're trying to reach and who you're trying to communicate with. So the first component is identify your ideal customer. The second component of your marketing plan is identify your best mediums. And in the last training video, we talked about the 5 buckets, all the different tactics you can use. Not all of them are right for you. In fact, you don't have to use many of them. You may pick just a few that really are the ones that generate business for you. Identify those and put those down in your plan. What are you going to do? And so that's the second component. Identify those mediums that are right and you're going to use to grow your business. And then the third component is put together a budget. What's it going to cost you? And marketing does not have to cost a lot of money. In fact, many times when I start working with a business owner, one of the first things we do is we evaluate their marketing spend, because many of them are spending lots of money on things that are not effective. So much waste happens in the area of marketing. And so you want to be thoughtful, you want to be highly intentional, and budget for those things that you're going to track and measure and really utilize to grow your business. But have a budget and know what you're planning to spend each month, each quarter, or throughout the year. And then the fourth component of a good marketing plan is a calendar. Put together a calendar of your marketing activity. What are you going to do in January? What are you going to do in February? What are you going to do in March? And go through either the quarter or the year and map it out on a calendar so you know what you're going to do when. And again, as you go through the year or as you go through the quarter, you can make adjustments. But it's better to work from a plan than not. So create that calendar of events. And by the way, a calendar is critical because many business owners, maybe most of us, what happens is when business is slow, we get out there and pound the pavement and we hustle and we try to generate more business. In other words, we step up the marketing. We start marketing very aggressively. Well, typically when you market a lot, you get more business. And when we get more business, we're busy serving and satisfying our customers. And when we get busy serving our customers, guess what happens? Our marketing tends to fall off. And then over time, as our marketing falls off, eventually we run out of customers or our pipeline dries up. And then we're hustling again. And so the business just goes up and down like that. Having a marketing calendar will prevent that. Having a steady, consistent calendar of activity that generates new business is what you want and what you need. And over time, it will become increasingly more predictable so that you actually have a marketing system. So it begins with a plan, and the fourth core component of that plan is your marketing calendar. The fifth and final component of your marketing plan is what I call a dashboard. It can be a simple spreadsheet, but you need some kind of dashboard where you set the goals for each marketing tactic you use and then you track it and measure it. How did it perform? If you want this tactic to generate 10 leads, then you measure it. Did it generate 10 leads in the time frame I wanted? And so create that dashboard, that spreadsheet, or whatever makes sense to you, that means of tracking and measuring your marketing activity. Those 5 components make a powerful marketing plan, and I hope you'll take the time to create it and then execute on it aggressively.